Hey guys, welcome to ASP.NET MVC 5 with Entity Framework. Um, Entity Framework Model First lesson. In the model first approach, the database model is created first using the Object Relational Mapper designer in Visual Studio. Once the model consisting of entities and relationships has been designed, then the physical database will be generated from the model. So let's go to the Visual Studio and let's create the model first. Okay, so first create a project. I want to give the project name Entity Framework Model First. Okay, alright. So first of all, go to the project, right click, add new item. So in the new item I want to add, you can click the data, then you can select Adio.NET Entity Data Model. So let's say Entity Framework Model First or Model, add. Okay, so from this template we have to select empty model because we don't have any model right now, and finish. Okay, so oops, so our ADMX file is created. Now we can create our entities here. Okay, right click, add new entity. So let's say category base type, no categories, id as only id or category id integer type. Okay, then you can add other scalar property. Let's say category name. So you can even select the, you can change the data type. So it is a string, that's okay. Then you can add description. By default it is also a string. Now I want to add another model which is product. Okay, so I can say product id is my primary key. Then I want to add other properties like product name. By default it is string. If I add another property, let's say price, so in this case I have to change the price type, which is, let's say, double or decimal. Okay, then you can even add description and whatever. Okay, now we need to add the, we need to associate the product with category. Okay, so how can we do? Association, click here and click here. As you can see that it is our association. Double click and you can see primary is category and dependent is product. So category id, not product id. So this is wrong. What we have to do, have to add another property which is category id, and type should be integer. Okay, now we can add the association. Click and click here, double click, primary, category, secondary, product. So primary category ID and dependent also category ID. Alright, so this is our associations, and this is one to many relationships. That means, category, if category, each category has, I mean many products, zero or many. Alright, now what we have to do is we have to right click here and generate database from model. Okay, so in this case you have to specify the connection string or database. Let's say I want to specify a new database, and I want to specify the server name, which is my name. Then I don't have that database, so what I have to do is I have to give the database name. Let's say ef model first. Okay, so if, at this point if you click test connection, it will be fail. Because of what? We don't have that database. It will now create the database. Okay, click OK. Would you like to attempt to create it? Yes. Okay, so our database is now created. The next, it is now generating DDL. Alright, so this is our SQL DDL. Then click finish. Alright, so our SQL script is now created. Now what we have to do is, as you can see, it is creating the category and product, then primary key and foreign key. Okay, so right click here and click execute. So it is looking for database connect. Yes, command completed successfully. Okay, now I want to go to the database, SQL Server database. So connect, then you will see the our database. Yep, entity framework model first database, and we have two tables. One is product, another one is categories. Okay, primary key, foreign key, everything is there. You see, this is foreign key with the category ID. Alright, so our table is now, our database is now created with the edmx file. You can save it. Then you can apply the context as you want. I have shown you in the previous lesson how to use the context. So in this case it is created the context. I can show you that context. You can see, if you expand the edmx file, you can see the context. So in the context it is created the context, which is ef model container. This is the name for the context name, and it has this db set, categories and products. So if you go to the web config file, you will see ef model container is your context name, and the connection string. Okay, so now I hope you can use the context. And for example, let's say what is ef model container, which is our context, right? So let's say I want to display the list of products. So what can we do? Context dot products dot to list. All the products should be list. Okay, but we do not have any data in the table, so first add a category. At this point I am adding data into the database. Let's say ASP.NET MVC. Oops, okay, then what? Oops, MVC learning MVC. Okay, then product. Let's say product name ASP.NET MVC 5, price 45, category ID 1, then ASP.NET MVC 6, price 75, category 1, ASP.NET MVC with bootstrap 100, category 1, and so on. Okay, now let's create that index with model, list model, with model, product model, ef. Oops, we already have replaced it. And you will see it will add list of enumerable product, because we are passing the list of product to the view. Oops, so do one thing, delete that, oops, not that one, index, then create again. First build application, build succeeded, then right click and add view. Okay, list, product, ef, everything is okay, then add. Alright, so as you can see I enumerable the product, list of product. Okay, so let's run the application. Alright, as you can see, as with an MVC 5, 6, as with an MVC with bootstrap, and with the price and category name. Okay, so in this lesson you have learned the entity framework model first. So it's up to you which approach you should follow. So I mean, this depends on the situation. If you have an existing database, you cannot, I mean, in that case the entity framework database first approach would be the best choice. But if you want to create the application from scratch, you don't have the database, then you can select code first or model first. Alright, so in the next tutorial I will be showing you how to create database first application. So till then, bye.